Your coach, Helen Uskovic.
Welcome to Your Coach, Helen Uskovic. That's me. I am now your virtual coach. I am what you call a professional life student. I've discovered firsthand that heartbreak will happen. Health issues do arise, but being successful doesn't ever need to be compromised. Twice a week, I will be your virtual coach, feeding you the juiciest knowledge that you can use to live your best life, no matter what gets thrown your way. Shall we begin? P.S. To ensure that you never miss your session, hit subscribe on your podcast app now. Stop letting painful memories control you. Pain comes in all forms, and I remember experiencing so much physical, mental, and emotional pain in my life. Two of my biggest emotional pains are the loss of my darling friends Josie and Alice. Two of my biggest physical pains were my back and my wrist injury, contributing to a decade of pain. My biggest mental pain was just not understanding my purpose and always being broke. Now I am abundant, pain-free, grateful, and bloody loving life. So let's get you to stop letting painful memories control you. Because that's what you want, right? A system, a way out. Today, I chat about some of my history and an insight into my life, why you're stuck in your painful memory. I also chat about what you have to do to move away from your hurt and why we don't move forward from our painful past. I will also give you 5 of my tools to help you overcome your painful memories, and I share with you the questions that you must answer to be able to move forward. I'll talk about why this happened to you and how to flip your mindset from negative to positive. I'll talk about how to begin the process of letting go of painful memories and so much more. But before we dive in, I must read the review of the week, and that is from Anonymous, and it's titled A True Superstar. And Anonymous says, Helen's understanding of health and the pursuit is truly inspiring. Her positive energy is infectious and magnetic. Keep up the great work, and thank you for your positivity, Helen. Thank you so much for this review. This really made me smile. So let's dive on into today's episode. Hey, and how is everybody doing? I hope you are all fantastic today. Thank you for joining me on my episode today. I still can't believe that I have begun a podcast. I love doing this, and even though I am still learning day by day about this recording process, this editing process, and learning how to get all of these fixtures right, I absolutely love that I am able to share all of this knowledge that I've accumulated over the years with you. Now, over the years, I have experienced my fair share of pain, as I imagine you would have as well. And pain comes in all forms. There is self-pain, so that is pain that you feel within yourself. There's pain caused by someone else, as in a loss of someone. There's pain from an ex-partner that has caused you grief. Or there is pain from an ex-partner that unfortunately had to move away. There's all sorts of pain. There's the pain of a loss of a child. There's pain because of the loss of a job that you really, really wanted or that you really, really loved. There's pain for, in my case, not getting through an audition. Because if you don't know, I used to do acting and theatre and music and all of that sort of stuff. So my life was filled with rejection and hurt and pain. And I had my fair share of toxic people. But who knows, maybe I was toxic myself, which is why I was attracting that sort of a crowd. I've had my fair share of toxic partners, but maybe I was being a toxic partner, which is why that was attracted to me. I always try to find the silver lining with every single little bit of pain that I've suffered to see where I can grow or where I can learn from. I've made some very bad business decisions that caused me a lot of pain, a lot of heartache, a lot of grief, and a lot of money loss. I've been bankrupt twice. I have had twice in my life where I have had pretty much $0 to my name just because of a huge debt that has accumulated. Working 3 to 4 different jobs to pay off loans, to pay off credit cards, and always just having no money. That sort of a pain caused me so much anger. As I was saying, pain comes in all forms. There's also physical pain. I sustained a wrist injury from overuse, RSI, and it led me to stop my career in beauty therapy and massage therapy back in 2009. And then I also sustained a back injury from a massive fall, and my back was in pain for many, many, many years. And those sorts of pains, like physical pain, injury pain, they are frustrating. They cause you a different sort of pain because you can't do the things that you want to do. But again, I always found a way through. I never just sat there feeling sorry for myself. I never sat there thinking, why me? I always had to find a way. I tried to find someone that I could model, someone that I could imitate, because I was well aware that there is always someone worse off. So that's what inspired me for today's episode. Stop letting painful memories control you. You know, there was even times as a child, my parents were so strict and I wasn't allowed to do things that normal kids did. Not saying that I'm not normal, but you know what I mean. I wasn't allowed to go to a friend's house in the afternoon. I had to beg to go see a friend on the weekend. I wasn't allowed to have a boyfriend. I wasn't allowed to do so many things. I couldn't go shopping with my girlfriends. And, you know, my parents were just doing their best to protect me, and thank the Lord, because I was a little bit rebellious, to say the least. Could that have been because they were so strict? Yes, maybe. But I have noticed that my mother and my father have that rebellious streak, so it was inevitable. They eloped. My mother, back in those days, you know, mixed marriages were unheard of, so no one really went to their wedding or supported it, because she has a Greek descent and my dad has a Croatian descent. And so they eloped. My dad told her how to escape. And they had this master plan to go and get married, and they did. So that's what I mean by my rebellious streak was inevitable. Now, to stop letting painful memories control you, there's sometimes phrases that we say to ourselves, like, why am I holding on to something that isn't relevant to my life anymore? Why can't I let go of pain and suffering due to this experience? How long will I be in this pain for? And the reason we have those phrases going on and on and on inside our head and not letting us move forward is usually because we are afraid of the unknown. We're afraid of where to from here. What will happen if I move on? Does that mean that I will forget this experience or that person or that event or whatever it may be? Or Where to from here? Can life get better? It's a fear-based mentality. And we have to become vulnerable. And being vulnerable is something that a lot of people just don't do. Now, vulnerability usually is kept hidden because we're trying to protect ourselves. We're trying to protect ourselves because we've been hurt before. But my advice to you is this: just keep getting hurt because it only makes you stronger. Don't let anyone, anything, or any circumstance turn you hard. Always stay open and always stay vulnerable, because being real is something that this world is lacking, and that is why there is so much suffering. Sometimes we like staying the way that we are, whether it's in a negative state or a toxic state, because we are comfortable and it's easy. It's familiar. And again, we're just a little bit worried of the unknown territory that's to come. What happens is we link emotions to information. For example, close your eyes and just think about, don't close your eyes if you're driving, but just think about October 11, 1999. Have you thought about it? Now, I'm going to give you another date. Think about September 11, 2001. I bet that both of those dates gave you a different response. September 11, 2001. You can most probably picture exactly where you were standing and exactly what you were doing at the time when you found out about the September 11 bombings. I sure can. I was going to school and I saw it on the news and my mouth was just dropped to the floor and I was just thinking, oh my Lord. And it's like I was a child, but it was like I knew that it was something very, very bad, and I knew that it would impact the world. So that's what I mean about emotions being tied to a memory. So usually when you can't let go of a painful memory, it's because you have attached an emotion to it. So all you have to do is become aware of that and understand that you can't let go because you have attached an emotion so strong to this incident that it is not allowing you to move forward. And in order for you to move forward and to live your best life, you must find a way to let this emotion go and understand that you might need to surrender to the incident or the event or the experience, practice some forgiveness, and find a way to let go. Let go of the burden of the pain in your past. I can't stress highly enough. We only live one life. Don't allow one circumstance, or a few if it's like me, to dictate your future. You create your future. So that is why I am so passionate about this topic, because it really hurts me to see people that are still living in the past and allowing the past to dictate their future. So I thought to give you 5 different tools to be able to help yourself when it comes to this, or your friend, or whoever you want to pass this on to. Step number 1 is writing it down. So I recommend buying a journal of some sort, but you need a pen, a paper, a little booklet, because you have to write down a few things. And these are them. If you need to go grab your pen, go and do that now. You can always download this episode and play it on the replay. But one of the things that you must do is write down why You must move on beyond the pain. Why must you move on beyond the pain? You have to answer that question in order to move forward. The next question you need to answer is, how will my life change for better once I let go of this pain? So you have to visualize that. How will your life change for the better if you let go of that pain? The next question is, how will it change my relationships? So usually when we're living in the past or holding on to a painful memory, it can be affecting our relationships with our wife, with our husband, with our girlfriend, boyfriend, with our children, with our parents or our friends or our work colleagues. So make sure you understand how it's going to change your relationships if you let go of the past pain. And the last thing to write down and write out is, how will you feel in this new chapter of your life if you are free from that pain? Now, if you feel guilty about letting go of this pain, I urge you not to. Guilt is one of those emotions that can just eat away at you. There is no need for you to feel guilty about any situation, no matter how bad it is, if you haven't done anything intentional to hurt somebody. If you have done something intentionally to hurt somebody, you must ask for forgiveness and you must find a way to ease that guilt out of your life, whether that's by giving back somehow. But if it's an unintentional pain, you shouldn't feel shame or guilt attached to this event, especially if it's not your fault or if it was out of your control. You must picture the situation and then remove yourself from that situation and float all the way up into the air above that situation. So you're like a bird looking down at the event that happened or the experience or the incident, whatever it is that is causing you that pain that you can't let go. Look down at that event and just understand that that's all it is. It's an event. It's a life experience. It's something that you had to go through to learn something. So what is your higher learning? What did you have to learn? What is the silver lining? What must you do now from today to move on from that experience to lead a better, more peaceful, less painful life? Step number 2 is figure it out. You've got to figure out your tendencies. So emotions are like muscles. You can train your emotions to be negative and you can train your emotions to be positive. Sometimes you need to train more on the positive side. So you have to force yourself to find a way to be more positive. You have to do all the things that you need to do that you might procrastinate over to make sure that you are in a positive state of mind. Usually when we live in negativity or in a negative state of mind, it's because we are not grateful. You might ask, how can I be grateful when this terrible thing happened? Oprah Winfrey was raped as a child. To this day, she says that she is thankful for that experience because of what it has given her and taught her. You must find a way to be grateful for the situation that has led you to where you are. You must find a way to be grateful for how blessed you are right now. You must understand that there is always someone worse off. So before you complain, before you get all negative, make sure you understand how lucky you actually are. Don't settle for empowering negative emotions. And don't settle for disempowering positive emotions. It must be the other way around. You must empower positive emotions. Start fueling them into your body. It must become second nature to you if you want to live a life that is less painful. Number 3 that I have for you is sort it out. So what I mean by that is becoming more aware. It takes a considerable amount of conscious effort to move forward. What you allow in your mind is something that you need to take control over. You have to think of negativity as poisonous weeds in your garden. So picture your life being your garden. And anytime some negativity comes up, that's a poisonous black weed. And what your job is to be your mind's gardener. So anytime that weed starts to sprout up, your job is to go and start the weeding process. Do things like being more grateful. Do a meditation that's based on being grateful about anything and everything. Read empowering stories. Listen to podcasts. Surround yourself by amazing humans. Make sure that your circle is supportive. Do those small little rituals every day that will lead to massive change. These small little rituals like waking up and repeating 3 things that you're grateful for, a gratefulness meditation, a little bit of movement with your body, journaling. These small everyday rituals are so important because they keep you focusing on the right thing. They keep you focused on the right path to make sure that you're living your best life. There is no reason to live your second best life. What for? The 4th point that I have to help you let go of painful memories and just let go and be free is work it out. So exercise. Oh my gosh, you cannot bottle the benefits of exercise at all. You can't. You must do it. That's why you get those feel-good endorphins that help your mood because you're doing something. When you exercise, it helps release those happy hormones that make you feel amazing. There is never a time where you finish a workout and regret it. There is lots of regret when you wake up and you think, oh man, do I really have to go today? But that again, my friend, is your negative mind. Think of those as the poisonous weeds in your garden. Okay, so you have to be your mind's gardener. And any time that comes up, you have to pull that weed out and say, nope, I'm going to go work it out because I want to be free from the pain in my past. And this is what I have to do to get there. It also gives you a feeling of accomplishment. And it helps you build self-confidence because you've achieved something, which means, in effect, you will start to achieve your goals faster. How cool is that? All you have to do is exercise. There are so many things that you can do. There's so many forms of exercise. Do something that you love doing, whatever it is. The last point that I have is help out. This is so important. Give back. I love donating my time. I love helping out. The other day, I was at a F45 bushfire appeal coaching. We were raising money for Wires and the Red Cross because, as you know, Australia has been going through some of its worst bushfires ever. So I donated my time there to coach these amazing humans that came and sweated it out and donated to these very amazing causes. This weekend, I'm donating my time to Macquarie Park Shopping Centre, rooftop session with Lululemon and F45 Macquarie Park. I'll be leading the outdoor sweat session there. And I'm also donating my time to a super event called Upgrade Your Life with a dear friend of mine, Sam McCall. And we have the amazing David Goggins coming out from the US of A to teach us his wisdoms. He's an amazing human. If you haven't read his book, You Can't Hurt Me, read it. Read it. Read it. Especially if you are experiencing a hard time with moving on from the past. I'll link to it in the show notes. But I will be donating my time leading the yoga session in the morning after David Goggins' fitness session. So giving back, it lights me up so much. So whenever you're feeling down or whenever you're feeling in a negative state, give back somehow. Give someone your smile, your hug, lend an ear or a shoulder. Give more of yourself. All it means when you give more, it means that your life will improve. Because you're going to achieve another level of purpose and meaning in your life. This is what life is about, to serve humanity. How are you serving humanity? Helping others also motivates you. It just gives you those feel-good, warm, fuzzy feelings. And you just want to do more. And you start to become happier. You start to become a problem solver. You will find inner strength when you're exhausted. You will help yourself. You will help yourself walk into your future with much more compassion, with much more nurture and a much more gentle approach, and with much more self-improvement. Becoming the best version of yourself can be a little bit difficult at times, but all you have to do is start with one step. And I have given you 5 today. So listen to this episode as many times as you need and do something for yourself. You owe it to yourself to live your most successful, happiest, healthiest life. Don't give up on yourself. You must always fight for yourself. Love yourself enough to move forward. Don't wait for something magical to happen. Don't wait for someone to come and save the day. You must do it yourself. And I know it sucks sometimes to be an adult, but we've got to do it. We've got to do it. You will be so thankful and you will be so grateful and you will just build the most self-confidence that you have had because you have worked on yourself to achieve great things that you thought were impossible. I hope this episode has inspired you. I hope you've enjoyed sharing your time with me. I am so thankful to have your ears listening to my podcast. I would be so grateful if you could leave me a 5-star review because it really helps me to push this podcast along. And if you know anybody that is experiencing uncontrollable pain or hurt or suffering from something that they can't let go of, send them this episode, screenshot it, share it to them. Do whatever you've got to do to get it into their ears. That is your way of giving back today. And keep in mind, heartbreak does happen. Health issues do arise, but your success doesn't ever need to be compromised. Bye for now.